All right, well, welcome to Stock Analysis Friday on this May 10th, 2024. Hope everyone is doing well out there. All right, so the purpose of Stock Analysis Friday, probably as many of you already know, is for you to have me look up some stocks you may be interested in. You may be already long or short on some of these, or perhaps your broker is suggesting a possible stock for you. But in any case, the idea is I'll look it up, give you my analysis using our software tools, and then you can take it from there. And all we ask you to do is just type your stocks or ETFs and caps and put those in the comments area and do about no more than 3 at a time. I think that keeps things flowing good. You can always, enter another 3 in another chat, of course, and do that through the chat area. All right, and let me just go through some of the administrational items really quickly here. So let me run over to do that. First thing we have to cover, of course, are the risks involved in trading. Like I always say, without those risks, there is no opportunity. So the two really do go hand in hand. But we want you to be aware of the risks. There's no guarantees in trading or investing in the financial markets. And also, too, we want you to make sure you always trade with risk capital, money you can afford to risk. Know how to calculate your risk on each and every trade. We can help you with that. I've dedicated several books to that process. And also, too, just run everything by your financial advisor to be sure anything we talk about or suggest, of course, is suitable for you. That's really important. All right, books. Got a couple books on money management. A great place to start. Even if you're a veteran trader and you're kind of like a little wishy-washy on your risk control, definitely grab one of those books. It'll help you a lot. If you're brand new to trading, start there. Risk control, I think if you read any book on trading, is the most important aspect of keeping those losses small, because you're not going to win all the time, and letting your winners run. That's really important. And then my newest book, The Art of Trading on the Far Right, being published by my publisher, Wiley Trading, is coming out later this year. Great book. It's going to be one of the best I've written. A lot of pertinent new information in that book that covers software, but also markets today as well. I've also got a great book on Elliott Wave. For those of you that don't know what Elliott Wave is, it's a form of technical analysis. You'll probably see me use it today when I look at stocks. But that book is a good simplified version of how to count Elliott Waves accurately. And then I've had other books like The Survival Guide for Traders for those wanting to run their trading business out of their home using today's technology like a professional trader. All right, software we're going to use today is basically the ART trading software in combination with, we have scanners, we have risk control software. We probably won't use the scanners today because you're going to be giving me stocks, obviously. Risk control, we're not going to do that today as well because I'll give you directions, what I think. And then, of course, if you actually take the trade, you're going to want to probably purchase our risk control software. All right, so I'll show you how all that works during the process. And then finally, give us a like, share us, and subscribe us. All right, let me go over to the full size charts here and we'll get started. Let me just read some of the comments here. All right, Lowell, welcome. All right, Frank, how are you? Good to have you back. Let's see what else we got. Kumar, good to have you. All right, so I'm going to jump in with your picks. I'm going to start here with the first one and just go right down the list. Before I do, just a really quick introduction, especially if you're new here on what you're looking at. All right, I happen to be using NinjaTrader. Our software works with NinjaTrader, TradeStation, multi-charts, MT4 and 5, eSignal. And basically what I do is I take my charting platform, whichever one I'm using at the time, and I divide it up into 3 charts. And that's kind of what you're going to look at. And here's what I want to focus on. So we got the 60-minute chart on the far left. Now, what that means is every price bar represents an hour. And then the chart on the center is the daily chart. Every price bar represents a full day. And then on the far right-hand chart is a weekly chart. And this represents 1 week of activity. So why do I do this? Well, the weekly chart gives me a long-term aspect of what's going on in that market. It cuts out a lot of the noise so I can see things clearly. Then I come down to the daily chart. The daily chart is usually what I use to actually make position trades, calculate my risk control, see where I want to enter, and things of that nature, targets, all that kind of good stuff. And then the chart on the far left is a 60-minute chart. I'm looking at this to see if the short-term momentum is going in the direction of my trade. So that between all three charts, it helps me with my timing. And then if you notice on the chart, you'll see these triangular patterns. This is the ART software. Many of you, of course, have heard that. It's been on the marketplace now, gosh, let me see, almost 19 years, I guess, right now. I think we released it in 2003. And so it's been around for quite some time. You'll see that being used by hedge funds, many private traders and so forth. So you may have seen it before. At the bottom here is our OWL indicator measuring momentum, our PTF indicator here, which are giving us higher highs or higher lows with a 75% accuracy rate. Trend line master under that, identifying the trend. And then we have the fear and greed indicator called the emotional reader index, also known as the ERI. So we use these tools on all three charts to give us a good picture of what's going on the different time frames. Up here is our scanners, as you can see here. We're not going to be using those today, but that is what is up there. All right. Well, I've got Bitcoin. Let me just start with Bitcoin. Everybody kind of always wants to know what's going on with the cryptos. So let me start with that. So Bitcoin here has been in a correction really since, I'm going to say, April. All right. It reached a top in March. And since then, it's been kind of a little bit sideways, never really took out the March high, which is what, around 73,000, and then it started coming down. My target for this pullback, if it continues, is this range right in here on the center chart. And I call this a profit-taking pullback, and that's going to be around 53,295, possibly as low as 40,430. So it's a range. Now, 70% of the time, and this is a fib retracement, 70% of the time, markets during their profit taking or even stage wave 4, if you're an Elliott wave person, reach this target. So it's a pretty high probability outcome. 15% of the time, they're a little shallow and only go into the red area, which in this case would be 61,000. So we were kind of there already, down to 53,000. So could we have a bottom in Bitcoin, and are we heading up? Well, there's a 15% chance that's possible, okay? But the higher probability chance is down here that we'll get here. Now, is Bitcoin in trouble? No, okay? This is still a long-term uptrend. And we go to this weekly chart over here for help on that, simply because look at how bullish the momentum is represented by our OWL indicator and our precision trend filter called the PTF. Is indicating with 75% accuracy that there's higher highs coming after this profit-taking pullback. So I'm pretty confident Bitcoin's going to recover from whatever level it traces down to in the next few months and then make higher highs. So I'm thinking maybe a little shaky on Bitcoin for the next month or two. And then after that, we should see a full recovery with more highs. So you may want to look at this as a buying opportunity if it gets down into this level, and I'll leave it at that. All right, so let's go on and start from the top here. Let's see our first candidate here. All right, Frank, how are you? Good to have you back, buddy. All right, LIT, let's see what we got here. All right, so go long. All right, so Frank, no long on this yet. And one of the reasons why, this is why I love the indicators, is this right here, okay? We have a red PTF on both the long-term and the short-term time frames, all right? Now, if you're a scalper, all right, and you want to trade off the really short-term time frame over here, okay, well, then you got a green PTF indicating highs probably above 46 and 75 cents, and we're at 45. Now, that trade's not going to make sense for those that hold positions overnight for like a couple weeks to a month. But for somebody that may want to hold a position 1 or 2 nights, okay, possibly, all right? So I'll leave that up to you, but I'm not going to recommend this as a buy for most everybody. All right, let's take a look at corn, C-O-R-N. Corn on the cob, right? All right, again, you know, my eyes immediately jump to the red PTFs on both the daily and the weekly. So no go on corn, okay? All right, let's take a look at your next one, which is PLG. You know, when you have the right trading tools, it makes the analysis really quick and very simple. All right, so this one's a little different. Long term, it's looking better. We got a green PTF. So we're kind of, you don't want to miss getting in, but by the same token, I'm not going to get in with the red one over here. Okay, so we have a red PTF there. That's got to turn green before I get super excited. So unfortunately, the PTFs are keeping me out of your trades at this point. All right, let's keep going here. Kumar, thank God, goodness it's Friday. Absolutely. All right, Lowell, let's see what you got cooking here. KR, let's see what KR Kruger's doing. All right, let me load that one. All right, so Kruger is in a profit-taking temporary pullback, kind of like Bitcoin, all right? It's temporarily pulling back. Now, I know a lot of people are if you go on YouTube, you can, there's a lot of people fearful that the market's going to crash like this month or next month. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I am bearish on the stock market next year and towards the end of this year. But I think short term over the summer, we probably got more highs coming before it's all over. So a lot of these trades, position trades that could last a few more months at some point are probably going to be okay to the long side. But then you want to be careful later on this year. So I'm not predicting a stock market crash this summer. However, okay, and don't forget it's an election year too. So the Fed's going to do as much help as they can to keep things stable. But after the election, all bets are off. And I think we're going to go into a bear market, a significant bear market in stocks and most assets towards the end of the year. But I think you're okay for a little while longer. All right. So with that said, Kruger coming down to its profit-taking zone here. We still got a red PTF here. Okay. So, okay. We may go up a little bit more here before it drops back down because we have a green PTF here. So we may go up a little bit more, or it may drop down and then go up. Is there a chance there's a bottom in here for the pullback? Yes, 15% chance only. And then I like to take a look. If this is a 3, Elliott wave 3, this would be an A, B, C. C is as long as A, so that's good. All right, so there's a possibility if this thing can get above the B wave here that we're, the bottom is in. But for right now, I go with the higher probability retracement zone. So on this case here, if you're in it and you don't mind the risk of possibly a little bit more of a pullback, you can stay in it because if we look at the weekly charts, we've got more highs coming. So this is a temporary pullback in a bullish market. All right, and I don't think I'd go long on this until we take out the top of what we think may be B wave up here, okay? Usually when that's taken out, that's a good probability that the correction's over. But unfortunately, we're not going to know it for sure until we get above that. And basically, since you're not in the high probability area, that increases the risk. So wait for it to get above 57.24. That's the high of that price bar. All right, INO. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's see about a long position. Okay, let's see what we're going here. Okay, this one better. All right. All right, let's take a look at the weekly chart for a moment here. So we've had a big, this had a high of almost 450 back in 2020. Incredible. And now it's at $11. All right. So it's definitely retraced, right? All right, what a great short trade. And look at the pyramids allowing you to make that profit on the short trade. So what do you do with it now? All right, we've got one pyramid here. We've got green and green. Is it coming off its base? Let's just really quickly see if it's taken out some of its channeling base here. And the answer is yes. Okay. Let's go to the daily chart. We've got green and green, no red there. A little bit of red here on this, but overall, not too bad. Now, what would you do with this? Well, I'd probably wait until this turns green on the short-term momentum, which is kind of why I like to use those charts on the left. Or, basically, if it broke out this high here, then you would be in good shape there too. You've already got an established uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. So, if you want to take an early entry, I'm going to put this one down on the buy list. Okay. I think it looks pretty good. The only thing left to do now is figure out where it's going in terms of a target. And if we just take the weekly chart here, I mean, the target should be pretty huge. Let's see if this can help us at all here. All right. So basically, if this is getting ready to be a long-term bullish market, I think basically you're looking at around $90 to 144. So that's a hell of a return, right? Short term, let's just see if that's going to be much different. No, that looks about right. Okay. So I think this is a buy. Okay. Good job, Lowell. All right. Let's take a look at your next one. BDRY. BDRY. All right. So right away, no red PTF. Liking that. We've had a little bit of correction on the daily chart. We've still got more highs coming according to the weekly chart. This would have to be a 1, a 2, and 3 for this configuration to make sense. It only goes back to what, 2018. So that's not a very clear scenario in terms of history. Let's see if the daily chart helps us a little bit more. No, I think it's kind of climbing out. Kind of almost looks like the way the climbed out, almost like the coins did, right? So let's just make sure we know where the profit-taking retracement is on this and see if we hit it. Well, we did hit it. Look at that. All right. My only issue with this one is if this is a 3 and this is an A and this is a B and we had a lower low here, that's a very shallow C. Okay. Usually C waves are at least as long as A waves. And that didn't happen here. Okay. So is this a broad-based A, B, and C, and then it's going to go? Possible. All right. Did we hit the target zone? Yes. All right. Green here, green here, green here. The only thing that failed is a shallow C wave. So if you're a real strict rule person, that would be a no-go yet. Okay. Because that C wave does have to be at least the same length. So what do you do in a case like this? Well, A, you're afraid to miss it, right? So, it did hit the target zone. Okay. So what I would do, and you've got a green PTF here. So what I would do, a couple things. One is you can go in with a partial position here. I think you're forced to put your stop pretty low under here. Okay. Simply because if C wave returns, then it will probably end here and then go. So you don't want to get stopped out, right? Or if you do get stopped out, if you don't mind, then just go back in. But if you're, that's not your game, so to speak, you could go in with a full position here and then put your stop here, half position here, and put the other half on if it hits the target zone, keeping your stop down here. So, it's kind of a tricky one. I'm going to put it down as a buy simply because it did hit the target zone. And I've just given you ways in which you can play it fairly safely. So I think that's okay. All right. All right. Let me see. I think I got all of them, right? All right. So Lowell, you kind of came up with 2 good ones there. Big guy. Good job. All right. Kumar, let's see what you got cooking for us. All right, looking for a long entry point later in the month on AMD. Let's take a look at that. All right, so I see why you're saying that. Long-term charts are bullish, but this correction is still underway. So bring it back next week. I don't think, you've got at least probably 2 weeks before you're going to get an entry on this. At the earliest, could be a month. But let's let this correction unfold here, but you're spot on. So what do you do with this? Watch list, right? My new book, I've created a whole chapter on how to create watch lists, why you want to create watch lists. They are the most important aspect, I think, of good trading, is to always have that watch list filled with quality candidates. Not quite ready yet, but that way you don't miss it. Okay, so really important. All right, let's take a look at your next one, LULU. and see what's cooking on that. Yeah, that's still coming down too. I like the other one better. All right. This one's got bearishness even on the weekly chart. I wouldn't even put this on the watch list. It's not even close. TSLA, let's take a look at Tesla. All right. Tesla is a little different animal. Notice we got the green PTF here. So more highs are coming, but you're absolutely right. We're still heading down. Check out this. The PTF just went from green to red. So it does that 25% of the time. See it over here? So the PTF's right about 75% of the time. So 25% of the time it changes colors. So I call that incorrect. Okay, when it goes from a green and you're anticipating more highs and it goes to a red, that means it didn't work that time. So that happens 25% of the time, and it happened here, right? So this is still going down. You had a nice ABC here, that's for sure. So kind of interesting. Let's see if this bottom holds. You could certainly put this one on a watch list for now, but you're going to have to give this one a little time, I think, as well. I think probably another couple of weeks while this thing works its way out. All right, good job. Thank you, Kumar. All right, so let's take a look here. Keep going here. Al. Hello, Al. All right, Al. VEEV. I don't think I've looked at that one before. All right, so long, okay? No. Why do I say that? Red PTF, okay? So this movement down is not over. Yeah, you may get a little push up a little bit, but with this here, it's not going to be much to make a profit, okay? So no go on that. QTWO. QTWO. All right. This one looks good, but the problem is it's too far extended now. All right. You know, is it better to get in here or here? Okay. Here, right? It's too much risk up here because you're going to go into a profit-taking situation at some point. Now, you've got a very strong wave situation here. Okay. So if what I would do with this is when this finally tops, I would grab some fib retracements and figure out a level when that profit taking is going to occur. And then like a lion sitting in the tall grass waiting, have your orders ready to go in here, okay? And jump on that market when it retraces. But I wouldn't chase it here, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to get some more, you know, highs over the next few days, but you're on borrowed time, okay? And if this makes highs, we have to move that, you know, fib retracement up as well. All right, so that's QTWO, GOTU. All right, so this one, same type of thing, though you did have a retracement here, really bullish. Could be a bullish breakout here on the weekly chart, liking that. Let's see what else we got cooking. So pyramid way back here. So you got one, two. We got one, two. I'm not going to count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 pyramids in a row. First one after the correction. Let's just see really quick how this corrected. Okay, so it hit the target zone. Let's check out the ABC structure here. Not bad. Okay, so if this is a 3, A, B, C, notice C is longer than A, and that's a good thing. And now you've got to move off here. Let's get ahead and see. So I think this is in a wave 5 on the daily chart. So the next thing I have to do, I'm going to get rid of this, and let's draw the target up here and see what we're doing here. I think I'll go back here and here. So there's your target. So if your stop is going to be here and your price is here, you got just about 2 to 1 into the target. You know what? I'm going to put this as a buy. Okay. So your target's 912 to 1119. You're just a teeny bit shallow of a 2 to 1 to the lower limit. But that lower limit's here. And notice the PTF is indicating a 75% probability we'll get there. So I'm thinking, okay, all right. I'm thinking okay on this one. Probably will go pretty substantially into the middle of that target zone. So that's a go. Okay, good job. All right, so GOTU, boy, we're finding buys. You know, over the last couple of weeks, it was really hard to find some buys. So the market seems to be improving here. All right, GH, let's take a look here. All right, and this is for Stu. Let's see what we got cooking. All right, so still a little red owl on the weekly chart. Now, we have not taken out this price bar here on the weekly. So what you want to be careful of is if you get in early, you get stuck in these channels, okay? And it can, it can be a while. Also, too, that's a pretty substantial red. Now, you got green here. You had a breakout here. You have green here, and you have green here. You had a pull up and a nice rebound there. So I'm liking that. You have a higher high and higher low. So the interesting thing on this one is because the weekly chart has not rotated yet to a green owl, and we technically haven't broken above here yet, I think I'm going to have you wait and go only if it breaks there. And then you want to put your stop as low as possible because your target should be huge enough on this in terms, well, look at the PTF target. Okay, basically it's saying that, you know, there's not much history, that this is a 1-2. So wave 3 should take out the top many, many years from now. But you might not want to wait many, many years from now. So a short-term target on this probably is going to be a retracement area from this high to here. And so, yeah, so even if it breaks out of here, your target's not that high. So let's put this, I'm going to have to say no go on this one, unfortunately. Okay. If the weekly chart had more data and I could get a clearer, better vision on what's going on long-term, perhaps. But at this particular point, we may only get a retracement. Okay. And we got to wait for that breakout. So, you know, if you want to try it, if it breaks out here, you certainly can in hopes that it is beginning the long-term trend. But probably even if that's the case, you kind of want it to break above this area here. So, all right. So I'm going to put that one on hold. I don't think that's for everybody. But if you wanted to take a flyer, perhaps if it broke above there. All right. So here's TEVA. Now, when we looked at it last, we were looking for a correction. So it got down to the 15% area, and that's all it gave us. Okay. And then pulled up. So that is a continuation that is going on now. We have not, I don't think, really had a formal break in that trend, so to speak, too much. I can't even see the ABC on here. Okay. This is just a straight breakdown, which usually is a minor on this chart because you can't see the ABC. So you'd have to go to a shorter time frame. So it'll be a major here and a minor here. So probably still in wave 3. Okay. So eventually this has got to break down higher highs, green PTFs. So why don't I recommend it? Because it's so freaking extended. Okay. You know, the PTFs are only indicating it's going to go above today's high. That's all it's saying. And we've gone up and look at the number of pyramids. Again, here, breakout here would have been better than here. Okay, so no go on that. But I would put this on, here's what I would do. I'd put this on a watch list and wait for the retracement after this bull run ends, and then get in for the remainder of the, after the profit taking for the next leg up. So you're going to have to wait a while up on that. But that's, you know, you can do whatever you want on that, but there you have it. All right, now, his question on this is, should he sell it? I would sell it if the PTFs turn yellow, Stu. Okay. That's kind of what I'm thinking. On the other one, why don't you wait and see if it breaks above that high on GH, okay? So as soon as the PTFs turn yellow, start ratcheting your stops up under the second price bar back, okay? Or use the pyramids. You know, you do not have bearish divergence on this chart on the 60 minutes, so you should hold it for a little longer, okay? Cool. All right. Let's see. Stu's back with ETHE. And this one has pulled back, kind of as expected. We looked at this before. And this is exactly why, Stu, you don't want to be buying in up here, right? And everybody for that matter. Because if you chase the markets on an extended market, then you're kind of buying into the greed, so to speak. You know, you're hyped up and you want to get in because you're afraid you're going to miss any more movement to the upside. But when a profit-taking correction comes in, it's gonna, you know, you're going to get stopped out of a loss, most likely. So it's still in this profit-taking situation. We got a red PTF over here. I would put this on your watch list because once this is over, then you want to go long, okay? So I'm liking your thoughts on this. It's just not quite ready yet. All right, let's keep going here. All right, so Kumar, I think you're next there. Next set for the long. Okay, NVT. All right, again, my problem with this one is chasing the market. See? All right, now if you're in it already, all right, just enjoy the ride, but you know, start moving your stops up so you don't lose a lot of profit if it goes into that profit-taking stage. Long term, even if it went into a profit-taking stage, it would return and make higher highs. So quote unquote, if you're like an investor and don't care about the pullbacks, you'll be fine with this. But if you're more of a trader and trying to trade these swings, then of course, you don't want to go in now if you're going to use stops that would take you out for risk control. And you have to use those, right? All right, HWM. Let's take a look at HWM. Same thing, okay? So I assume you're long on these, but if you're not, don't get on them yet. Wait for the retracement. It's too late. WMT. All right, let's see what's cooking here. Little volatility. You can see it on the 60-minute chart there. Looks like this maybe have entered a possible correction. Here's another one here. Let's see if we get the ABC. So 3 A, B, C. C is as long as A, so it met that minimum requirement. It can be longer, but it has to be usually as long as A. We hit a low probability retracement target of 15%. We now have a move off this with a pyramid. So are we going to make another high? This is pretty strong. That may be all the pullback we get. Again, anytime you do not hit the target, you have to be a little weary of if the correction is over, yet at the same time, you don't want to miss the next leg up, right? So this is exactly like that other one. You know, you could go in with a full position here and put your stop under here. All right, so you'd have to do your trade size calculation, use our software for that, and that will give you the correct number of shares to buy. So if you get stopped out, your loss will be in check, but it will give you enough room that if it goes back into the target, you'll be okay. Or you go in and just, you know, put your stop here, calculate a full position, but get out here, or go in with half now, okay? And if it goes down further, go in with the other half, but always keep your stop under here, okay, depending on how you want to do that. So let me just quickly take a look and let's just see if the risk to reward is there for the trade at all first. And so let's draw a couple extensions. And yeah, it looks pretty good to me, okay? So I'm going to put this one down as a buy, all right? And I'll let you decide how you want to handle your stops. I've given you some possibilities for that, okay? So Kumar, that can go down as a buy, all right? All right, let's keep going here. Ray, how you doing, Ray? All right, SHOP, shop. All right, so we've got a pullback in progress. Let's not go long yet, all right? We still got a red PTF over here on the 60-minute. So the momentum is still bearish, coming down some more. So let's wait and see if this thing can settle before thinking about a long trade at this point. All right. So I wouldn't touch this now. All right. It's not my favorite right now. Let me just take a look at the weekly chart. It came down quite a bit. So that would have to be a 1, 2. That probably could not be a 4. It came down too much. So let's give it some time. All right. All right. So let's go to your next one. TNDM. You guys see how cool looking at 3 time frames is and how much that can help you. And also too, when you have the right trading tools, how quickly it allows you to summarize what's going on. All right, so let's take a look at this one. All right, right away, not bad, okay? Green PTFs on the short-term time frame. You've got a PTF that's yellow. That's neutral. That's not bad, okay? You can go long or short on a yellow PTF. But notice it's also climbing close to going green. This is green. We've had a nice breakout. We took out this. Loving that. We looked at this, I think, last week, right? Okay. So more highs are coming. We have a target here. We're getting kind of close to that target. So let's take a look and see. Yeah, I think it's a little too late. Okay. I think you'll get the 56, but if you put your stop at, what is this? This is a low on this pyramid of 34. So you're right away, you're 9 points away, and you only have 9 points until you hit the target zone. So that's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So probably no go. All right. If this is a wave 3, okay, then that would be no problem. Okay. But this was so deep here that I'm a little concerned that it's not. So what do you do in a case like this? Well, if you think it's a wave 3, first of all, I would wait for the pullback anyway. I mean, it's been pretty good already, but I would say let's wait for the next major pullback and see if this thing settles quickly and then goes higher, or if it starts to move down towards the bottom. Okay, so I'm a little weary on this, a little close to the target zone, so I'm going to pass. If it goes into a wave 3, then actually you could enter here and just hold it for years. Okay, but I'm not so sure it's going into that. Okay, but you could do that if you want. I'm not going to recommend it because these are more short-term traders for that kind of stuff. I'm not quite ready for a long-term trade on that. All right, CELH. All right, so do you go long now? Well, it's definitely an uptrend. My question is, why not long earlier? Okay, because this was a fairly decent trade early on. So you're gonna look at the channeling here and then the breakout. Okay, and it's been going up pretty much ever since. A little volatile though. All right, short term, we looked at this before. Short term, we're looking at a target between 98 and 118, so we're at 85. A little late to get in on that. I do think you have the possibility, however, of a higher target perhaps. Let me just take a look at that if you're willing to hold it for a little longer. And yeah, so you hit that retracement well. And let's take a look at a extension here. Your target's 95, pretty much the same as the other one. Okay, I think it's too late. Okay, in terms of a more significant pullback, so here's what I think is going to happen. You're going to get one more high, okay, into that target, and then you're going to see it come back down big time, and this would be a really good place to buy it before it goes up. So something like this might be coming here, and then boom. All right. So I would kind of at this particular point, if you want to take a short-term trade, keep your stop close, you could do that. Otherwise, I would pass on it. Okay. All right, so Eleanor, let's take a look at yours here. BROS. BROS. Let me just bring these down a little bit. Okay. Very interesting. All right, not much history on this. So we go back to 2021. So look at the weekly chart. We're showing a breakout, no question about it. Impossible to tell what Elliott wave that's in on the weekly chart. And kind of difficult here, except for the fact that we have a breakout. So on the 60-minute chart, you can see the breakout. We were looking at it above here. Remember, we talked about that. So we got the breakout. And now the situation here is, where is it going to go from here? Let's just see if there's any red PTFs. And yes, we have one here. Incredible. So if that one does not turn green, that's going to keep me from going long. And, you know, the only thing I can think of, Eleanor, for a target zone on this might be something like that. Okay. And it's possible it could be shallower if we use that point here. So I'm kind of thinking no go on that. All right. I don't know if you're in it already, but if you're in it, stay with it until you get stopped out. It's just too late to get in it for a new trade. All right. So again, great trade on the weekly chart at about 90 to 100 bucks. Look at this entry down in here. Okay. When this turned green, all right, and it passed here, the trade entry would have been actually here. Okay. So that's when it would have been a go there. This green. So more highs are coming. Let's figure out what the next target's going to be and see if there is some opportunity here. First thing I want to do is figure out, have we had a good retracement? And the answer is yes. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do an extension. All right. So you've got a 172 to 200 target. Your stop can be at 125 and we're at 150. So that is 25 points and only 22 points to the target. So unfortunately, the risk to reward's not there. Okay. At this point, it could have been there last week, but not there this time. All right, let's go to GCT. All right, let's see what we got here. More highs coming here. 60-minute chart showing that this move up is not over. And at this particular point, let's just see what we've got for a possible target. So the target's 50 roughly to 63. So we got 13 units of profit and 7. So your risk to reward could be 2 to 1. I would take this one. Okay. GCT is a buy. Okay. I'm liking that one. Not much history, but from the history I can take from the daily chart, I think you've got an opportunity. Now, another thing you could do on this, you could go in early because you got the green over here, or you could wait for this to turn green. So if you have our software, that's a preferable thing to do. That way you may get 1 or 2 price bars better price, but otherwise it looks good. Okay. Excellent. All right. Invested. Okay. So you were invested in NVT. Okay. So we covered that. All right. Pfizer. Let's take a look at that. PFE. Yeah, it helps me to know if you're in it already. Like Stu, I don't know if you're in this or you're considering it. So if you're in something, just put already long or already short. And if you're considering it to the long side, just say considering long. All right. So on this one here, Pfizer's had a big move down. And are we bottoming? A little too soon to say. Okay. We have had a boost off the bottom. All right. But we've seen this before. Okay. We saw it here and we saw it here. So we kind of want to make sure this does not turn into this again. Right. So here's our potential bottom. We did take out the short trade. So the short trade's gone. We still got lingering red over here and an active pyramid here. All right. So, you know, I'd like to see it take out this pyramid here before going in early. And I like the fact there's no red PTFs. So here's the way this one has to go on a watch list, PFE. All right. And what I'd like to see happen on this one, and let's open this thing up here and here, is that this is a bottom. We've had the first leg up. So technically you don't have higher highs and higher lows yet. So you kind of want to wait for the pullback and then the surge up. And then you have higher highs and higher lows. So you definitely don't have a trend in place. And usually when you get that, you get a pyramid going in here, filling the gap, indicating higher highs and higher lows. Okay. So I'd wait for the pyramid, wait for higher highs and higher lows, put it on a watch list so you don't miss it, and come back to it. All right, let's keep going here. All right, Alexander, excellent. All right, so you're long on that one. Let's see if, all right, so if you're long, I guess you got in long much earlier. And did you suffer this pullback, or have you gone in long recently? The target on this we looked at last time was what, between 292 on the weekly chart on the far right. Looks like 292, excuse me. Let me just get that fixed up here. So 292 up to 364. We got green here and green here. So I would just stay with it, okay, since you're long already. All right. So PDD, another one you're long in, and green PTF on the 60-minute, yellow on everything else. And let's see, you had an A, B, C, and let's see where this thing is going here. All right, so here's what you got to do on this one. Extension, 1, 2, 3. Target's around 163 to 197. That's the primary situation. And you had an A, B, C, and C is as long as A, so that's good. So I'm pretty sure this is a wave 4 bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should put you in the target on the next leg up. And the alternate wave count would be if this was all part of a major 4 and not done yet, which is a low probability, but you want to keep your stops under here or under here for right now in case that turns out. Don't keep them too close though. So PDD for you is a hold. For anybody else, it's not a buy because you're too close to the target. All right. And then he's watching ADP. So let's take a look at that one here. All right, ADP, that's what we got cooking on that. All right, so here's the thing. Long term, forget about it, okay? It's a messy market going sideways right now. There is something we have called the PTF scalp trade on the 60-minute chart. So if you went in here and you put your stop here and the target's just based off the volatility of the PTF, then perhaps you got to trade there. Okay. 1, 2, 1, risk reward's about 2 to 1. Okay. Not a trade for everybody because you really have to watch it closely during the week because that's a 60-minute intraday chart. So I'm not going to put it on the watch list, but it, possible if you want to take a PDF trade. And I know you're more of an active trader, so that might be something for you, but I don't think it's good for most everybody else. All right. All right. Gene's commercial, give us a like today. Okay. Anybody else? I think I got to the end of the list here. We got a good handful of stocks here. We've got 5 so far. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. All right. Alexander's back with DJT long. Okay, so you're long on this bad boy. And we've got green PTF there. Yeah, I think you can stay long on this for now. I'd put your stop under this pyramid and follow it up as far as you can, okay? Not much history on this really to speak of, but follow it up. I'm not recommending that, though, for everybody. All right, GS, Goldman Sachs. Let's see what you got here. All right, you're long on this one too. Follow it up. All right, green PTF down here. Okay, and you're in the target already, so you just keep going up. Now, a couple things is this is an unusually long PTF here, not PTF, OWL, sorry. Okay, so statistically, when it gets that long, it's due for some red, right? Now you got a green PTF. I would hold it up here. I don't know where you got in. Your short-term stop could be right in the target around 440. Your long-term stop would be under here, under 420, which would be below the target. So I'm not sure where you got in, but if you want to get out before it leaves the target, use the pyramid on the 60-minute chart, okay? All right. Alexander with a last session spurt here. Dell, let's see what we got here. Okay, you're long in Dell. All right, same type of thing. I'm not recommending this for everybody here. So you stay with it. You got two alternate stops you could use. You could use, let's see if they're the same, this one or this one. I would use this one, okay? You have bearish divergence building, so the party's almost over. This is so strong that it could go up a little higher before we see any type of correction, okay? And by the way, after this correction, okay, more highs are coming. So long term, you're fine on this. But if you're trying to trade it and trade the swings, keep your stop at that pyramid. All right, spot we looked at already. We'll go back there one last time. All right, and since you're long on spot, again, I'd use the pyramid here, okay? Long owl on the 1 minute, bearish divergence, but you have a green PTF here, so I'd stay with it and put that stop on the daily chart. And then SHAK. And if you're trading much shorter term, then you have to use the stops on the 60-minute chart. Okay, on this one, if you were using the pyramid, you'd be, I think, stopped out already. I think that one hit you. Okay, so that's 101.59, and that's 46. Maybe, yeah, 46. Let me just check that one. Yeah, 31. Okay, so you'd be out on that. All right, so either that or you got to put your stop under here, but in any case, you got kind of bearish divergence there. So I don't think you're going to get too much more. I guess we got a target of 128 to 149 there, but we might have a double top here first. Might not hit that target yet. All right, so that's kind of there. Let's see what else we got. All right, Gene's giving us a happy face there. Happy faces are good. All right, so now we still got 5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also on the watch list. So pretty good today. I think the markets are up a little bit today, so they're not doing too bad. All right, anybody else? Yeah, okay, got that one. I got that one. Okay, let's see. Silver. Okay, good. Let's take a look at silver. All right, so silver, we're looking at, as you know, I'm bullish on silver, okay? And our subscription service had you long here on the breakout, so you've done pretty well on that. I think silver could be in a significant move up now that it's broken out of the channel, and green PTFs on all time frames. And you're going to have profit taking. Here is this. I'm just keeping my stop at the pyramid here, staying with it. And my target on silver on the next run up probably is going to be around, I don't know, 28 to 30. And then we may go into another profit taking leg down. But my goal is to kind of hold silver because I think at this particular point, we may be breaking into a major wave to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm thinking there. So we'll see. But in any case, you know, I think probably if your target short term can be a little bit like the 28 to 30, you could go long because you have a 2 to 1 there. So, you know, silver I'm liking a lot. And the real buy was the breakout from the pennant, okay? All right, UNG. This is not a buy yet. This is, you know, the natural gas. We still are in an area here. Well, maybe so, but I think we have a red. Yeah, we have a red owl. Let me just see recently. Now we took the pyramid out. Okay, so actually this is looking a lot better right now. Early entry. I was waiting for that pyramid, and it looks like it took it out today. Look at that. All right. So this is a buy. Let's put that one down as a buy. All right. We may have a possible bottom there. My only reservation is if you want to be a little more conservative, wait for the owl to turn green on the weekly. But we've broken out some significant areas. We had a big move up. Let me just show you this. So we had a big move up here. We had a bottom here that held. These prices did not go below. So there's your double bottom, so to speak. Then you took out this level and you had a pyramid. So that's pretty much higher highs and higher lows. So I'm thinking pretty good. And this could be the start of something new if it is bottomed. If it turns around and makes another bottom, then we have to wait again. But the profit potential on this is going to be huge, even if it's going just for a conservative correction. So you're talking triple your money. So I'm liking this. Okay. So UNG goes on the buy list. Good job looking at that one. I wouldn't have caught that tonight until tonight because my scanners would have caught that when I would do the daily scans at night. So that's kind of a nice one to catch right now. Good job. Again, little early on the weekly chart. We don't have a green owl, but the lower time frames look really good. So I'm thinking maybe that owl, if this could be the beginning of that next leg up, we'll change that owl for us. Okay. So good job. All right. Anybody else? Give it a little minute. Sometimes it takes time for people to type things in. Oh, Alexander, my pleasure. Okay. Just so you know, guys, I love doing this. Okay. This is my career. This is my life. So, you know, doesn't get any better, right? All right. Okay. One more from Alexander here. ASPN. All right. So why don't we wrap it up with this one? Okay. I think let's see what we got cooking here. You're watching. Okay. All right. Well, I got to tell you, it does look like it's breaking out. Weekly chart looks really good. All right. So maybe we're in a wave 3. All right. What I would do on this, it's gotten away from us. Okay. What I would do, all right, you got a wave 3 here. You got a little bit of bearish divergence building here, right? I would use the 60-minute chart to time your entry, and you'd want to get long. So basically, what I would do on this one, because you got a yellow PTF, I would see if you can get in on the next retracement down. So 22.5 to 19 or 22.5 to 20. Now, if it makes one more quick high, we'll have to redraw these. But you want to get in here because this is really strong, okay? And then this is really strong. Now, if you wanted to go in here, please set your stop. And if you're just going to go in, your stop's got to be around $19.50. So, you know, there you have it. If you wait, if you're patient, you may go to 28 and then roll back over and go into the 23 range. And I think that's what you should do. I think patience here. Yes, it's going up more. It's a great situation. I'm going to put ASPN here as a watch list off the 60-minute chart. So again, by using 3 time frames, Now I'm using the 60-minute time frame to really control the entry. All right, this is huge up here. All right, but I think we're going to get a brief pullback at some point here over the next week, and that's going to be your time to pull the trigger. Okay, so I'm liking that one. In terms of watch list, that one you have to watch closely. Watch it even during the day at times, or put your order in down here, and so you don't miss it. Okay. All right, Gene's got one more advertisement. Okay, give us a like today, and have a great weekend. All right, so and I will of course jump on that as well, and wish everybody a very good weekend too out there. All right, you got Mother's Day. Don't forget to take care of your mom, right? Okay, Sunday coming up. Make sure you do that. All right, Kumar, thank you. All right, thumbs up to you, to all of you as well. Great to have you all here. All right, so I guess what I'll do is I'll put it over on our. Well, before I do this, let me look at the oil market. Man, that's what a great trade that would have been, right? Look at that, boom, and that's a 1 minute time frame, and that's a 5 minute time frame. Look at that baby go. All right, well let me go over. Let me take a minute and just turn my webcam on and go over the winners for today. So give me a second. All right. So good day today. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 6 now to the upside. So the ones we're recommending today is INO, BDRY, GOTU, Walmart, WMT, GCT, and UNG. And UNG is the ETF for natural gas. So that's kind of interesting. I'm really glad that we found the natural gas one today, because I've been watching that, but I look at them at the end of the day. And so I think basically by catching this early today, you could take advantage of that right now. All right, on the watch list, AMD, Tesla, TSLA, Teva, TEVA, ETHE, Pfizer, PFE, and that last one we looked at, ASPN, for the 60-minute entry, and that was a good one as well. All right, so you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week. I'm going to put it on full screen here so you can check out all the intraday activity. And I think MCL looks like a fun one to end it on. So we'll keep it down here. And what a great trade this would have been. Okay, so notice PTFs are all yellow here, but we have strong owls. So we're still heading down. We have a long owl on the 15-second time frame. Don't forget, these are day trading time frames. So 15-second time frame. So we're probably due for a little bit of a correction and then more downside. All right. So pretty strong owl also on the 5 minute. Let's just quickly go out to the 60 minute. Notice the red PTF on the 60 minute. So that is showing there's a strong tendency now to go to the downside. Let's take a look at the 15 minute. Also now a red PTF. So you definitely want to be short on this for a little longer. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at now. All right. Well, you guys have a good one. We'll see you back here next week. Thanks so much. And have a good one.